doing later?
Shit, what's up?
Pull up, let's shoot Let's LiNK TV, episode 3.
All right, run it.
Bet. Yo, I'm Justice, and this is Let's LiNK TV, episode 3, featuring Henry from 3LP. Yo, I'm Justice, and I'm linking with my boy Henry from 3LP. He's getting ready to open up a new spot in Bridgeport. Really excited about that.
I'm excited too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Henry, how did 3LP come to be?
Well, I started the idea maybe like 4 or 5 months before COVID, the whole shutdown. I was in Thailand with my girlfriend at the time. And, I've always had a passion for food. I've been cooking my whole life. Never went to school though, but yeah, so I wanted to do something where, it'll incorporate my father's recipes and things that I grew up eating. The fast food, American food. But yeah, long story short is, I thought of this concept, and then when I came back to the States, I started experimenting with the pork and the chicken, and I was like, okay, maybe this is the time. But then COVID started coming. I was like, man, it might not be a good idea to open a Chinese restaurant during COVID, So, I started giving the food to my friends, just let them try, like, hey, what do you think, blah, blah, blah. And they, some of my friends, they got big mouths. So they started telling their boys, and then they were messaging me and was like, hey, I hear you got that pork, I hear you got that chicken, And then I was like, well, if you're my friend's friend, then okay. Then it started getting to the bloggers, and we caught some clout, and here we are 3 years later. I'm really proud of where we came from and where it is today. But we got a long way to go to where I want to be. So
that's dope, man. That's a cool timeline. There's even hearing that it started out on a referral basis.
Yeah.
That's really
word
cool.
of mouth. Like I know a lot of people talk about that, but it really happened like that because I'm not a famous chef. I didn't come from a Michelin star restaurant. It was just my father. He was blessed to learn some of the best Chinese barbecue and dim sum, and he taught me, and yeah, we're here.
That's dope, man. And you mentioned your pop a couple of times so far, and even in the conversations that we've had on our own, you've mentioned him and his influence in your life and inspiration. And I was just wondering, like, with your pop regarding food, like, what's one of your fondest memories of being a kid and food involved with your dad?
I mean, there's not a lot of fond memories because he used to beat, man, he used to beat me.
Really?
But I deserved it. Looking back, like, man, I always told my dad, like, man, when I grow up, I'm not gonna be like you, but he really, he really taught me, besides the cooking, like, he really taught me how to be a man. Take care of your family, don't cheat, don't lie, don't bullshit, So he was a man, you know what I mean? So.
Cool. So do you want to touch a little bit more on like your dad and like what he's meant to you as far as his accomplishments, how they affected you, influenced you?
I mean, dude, I'm just motivated. Like, I know I'll never be as a cook, I'll never reach that level. But a part of me I want to make him proud, Like, he sacrificed everything. To this day, he still can't speak English. He's 70. He's been in this country for 40 years, but like, he sacrificed that comfort for a better life for me and my sister and my mom, and like, yeah, I owe it to him. That legacy, all the knowledge he has with food, like, I don't want it to go to waste, So I feel like an obligation to carry on his legacy, and yeah.
That's dope, man. I really appreciate legacy, and I always like the way whenever we converse and we have these talks, you always bring legacy up, and that's dope, man. That's not such an authentic thing coming from culture, no matter what culture, cross culture, all cultures, legacy is the most important thing. And when it comes to legacy, that kind of relates to my next question about untraditionally authentic. because legacy is such an authentic thing. And I wanted to know a little bit more about where the phrase untraditionally authentic comes from. What does that mean?
So untraditionally authentic is like, it represents my food, but also represents me. And I know a lot of, Chinese and any children of immigrants growing up in like the late 90s, 2000s, like, we were just trying to fit in, I love sports, I love food, obviously, and just, I wanted to fit in with my friends and peers growing up, and, a lot of them weren't Chinese. So, but I had the struggle of going back home after school, they don't speak any English, so I'm eating Chinese food, I'm speaking to them in Chinese, but I go to school, I'm speaking English, I'm eating American food, so the struggle is there, so it's being traditional, being true to your roots, your way. So that's what untraditionally authentic means.
I like that.
Yeah, so.
I like that, man. I could definitely relate to it, even though my parents didn't come from overseas necessarily, but that whole thing of like being authentic your way.
Right.
I like that, man, because you can take all the bits and pieces that you learned from your OGs and piece it together your way, just repurpose it.
Yeah.
And that's dope, and I feel like you've done that successfully, culturally, with 3LP.
I mean, we're older heads, and I'm, like, being in like the early 2000s and 90s, like, fitting in was a lot harder than it is now, like stuff like anime and all that stuff, and like there's a lot more subcultures that, because there's bullies back in the day. Like the bullies were, like, you cool or you're not cool. But now, like everything is cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's no like, I hate the word nerds and stuff, like, but back in the day it was a different world, compared to it is now, So I'm really proud of how society has,
Regret.
evolved,
Yeah.
too, so.
That's cool, man. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Our generation is the catalyst that kind of changed that whole perspective. That's really cool, man, to be a part of it. And speaking about that a little bit more, like growing up as a kid in Chinatown, what was that like? I always thought Chinatown was like this beautiful, mystical place. Like we would visit as kids, but I didn't know anybody my age that lived there, when growing up. So growing up in Chinatown, how was that?
I mean, it's really segregated, like that's why a lot of, Chinese immigrants, they wanted to live in that town because they're with their own people, but, now I see, back in the day, the plaza wasn't even there. It was just that 4 blocks on Wentworth. And then, everybody knew each other, like, the shop owner, it was a lot of mom and pop shops. It has evolved over the last couple of decades, and yeah, it's I mean, that what did you say, mystical? Mm-hmm. I see where you get that from, but I don't think it's like that anymore. I think a lot of, non-Chinese have moved in, and, it's become a more diverse community.
Definitely, I can see that too, for sure. And like with the fashion scene, growing up, I know you like had like cross-cultural friends, like cross-cultural vibes. What was it like getting dressed in Chinatown growing up? Like, what was the vibes, fashion-wise?
Like when I really wanted to fit in, I mean, like I really wanted to fit in. Like I went through whole different phases. Like when I was in elementary school, everybody had that yellow Nautica fleece.
Yeah.
Like we had that, and then I don't know if you remember Structure. You remember Structure?
Do I? Yeah.
They got bought out by Express.
Yep.
So they used to have these pants with the zippers.
Yep.
But you unzip them, and then it becomes shorts.
Yep.
Oh man, that was everybody's like thing, And then you had the Nautica or Tommy visor, open.
Visors.
Back in the day, I used to have the whole Dragon Ball hair, spiked up, bangs. Yeah, that was the whole AZN look. I don't know if you ever heard of, the AZN.
No, put me on. I'm not familiar.
So back then, late 90s, like we used to, well, I never did because my parents would have beat my ass if I dyed my hair, but like a lot of my friends, they would dye the tips of their hair, dye the top, like the opposite of dyeing your roots. They just dye the tips. So that was really in back then, getting your ears pierced, the Figaro chain.
Yep.
What is it? It's pronounced Figaro, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah. The shark teeth necklace.
Yeah.
You know, that was a phase I went through the whole AZN phase. When I got to high school,
Right.
that's when I started being friends with a lot of Americans. So I went through the skater phase with the Element and Spitfire. I went through the Abercrombie phase, the preppy look. And then I wore academics, Gerbeau with the Gerbeau straps. You know, I had the rubber bands on my ankles.
And we didn't even need those because we had straps.
No.
We still doubled up.
And then I remember at Foot Locker, we used to, you know, the 5 for 20.
Yes, tees.
Get the 5 for 20 tee. You know, I even wore the tall tees too, man. You know, I'm a bigger guy, so I looked like I was just a pregnant dude, you know what I mean? So,
it was a vibe back then.
But yeah, like, I was always in love with fashion. Like, even after that, the Ed Hardy days, the True Religion days, you know, like, but now, you know, like, I'm older now. I just want comfort. You know, I want a brand that represents something.
Yes.
You know, not just, you know, what a lot of brands are doing now. They're just, you know, trying to follow trends. So with Untraditionally Authentic, like, you know, I want, you know, not only like good quality, but I want people to understand like you're wearing something that represents you also.
Absolutely.
Which is, you know, just try and be authentic, you know, your way, so.
And that's perfect, because that's a perfect segue, because I was thinking the same thing as we segue into Untraditionally Authentic as a brand. So does it encompass more of your style now, or does it encompass pieces of your style from back then, or all of the above? Like, how is it gonna look aesthetically?
I'm trying to blend everything back. Like, a lot of people are wearing a lot of vintage now. I think it is a lot with the nostalgia that you get. Yeah, I just want to bring elements from every era, from the yellow fleece, from Nautica to the Ed Hardy days, and just, you know, try to blend it together. So it's still a work in progress, but, you know, I think we'll get there.
I look forward to that, man. I look forward to seeing the progression and how the story is told through the brand. Because I love hearing us talk about it and reminisce and on the nostalgia, and to see it come through as a product is going to be such an exciting journey.
I am excited, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So you have like a very unique understanding of fashion and food. You know what I'm saying? So where do you feel like fashion and food intersect? Because there's not too many people I could ask that question.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I really wanted to sit down with you, because you're a rare breed of an understanding of both lanes. So where do they intersect for you?
Well, first off, I appreciate that. But I think everything is an art. It's not just fashion and food, you know, like any craft that you have is an art, you know, like for me, my passion is food and, you know, shopping and fashion, and, you know, your outfit, you're one of the most fashionable guys I know.
Thank you, brother.
But you're putting these things together. It's like putting a dish together. You know, there's different textures, different flavors, just like, you know, wearing an outfit is not just colors, it's how thick this hoodie is, what you're wearing underneath that pops out a little bit. Your headband, you know, like, it could be silk, it could be, you know, it could be any other material.
Right.
You know, it's similar to food. You know, like, you're getting different textures, you're getting different spices, the aroma of it, like, everything plays a part, just like an outfit.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's how I see it.
That's dope, man. I never even thought about it that way. It is like, they call you chef, and you just showed us why. You know, not just because you know how to cook, but you know how to put things together. Right. Whether it be an analogy, like, everything, just you can make things make sense. Whether you're getting dressed or you're chefing up in the kitchen.
But the cool thing is sometimes it doesn't have to make sense.
Oh, okay.
You know, it has to, you know, like, some people might not like your outfit.
Right.
You know, some people will.
Right.
But it depends on what you like. You know, it's all preference. You know, not everybody enjoys my food. Not everybody likes your outfit.
True.
You know, but, you know, just, you know, it's great to experiment. And I've been experimenting my whole life, whether it's fashion or even food. Like, I'm sure me and you and people that are watching this, you know, they used to mix sodas.
Yeah.
Mix cereal.
Yeah.
You know, like, I used to mix so many different cereals together. Right. But, you know, it's the same thing. When you're mixing cereals, you're mixing different outfits together, jeans maybe, or joggers, you know, sweatshirt or a hoodie. You know, like, you know, it's a similar mindset.
It's all untraditionally authentic. It's because it's authentic to us.
All right.
Yeah, that's dope. Good, man. Speaking of fashion, what kind of collabs have you done in the past, and what kind of collabs are you looking to do with the Untraditionally Authentic?
So the collab that I've done in the past is with Hidden Characters. My boy Nico runs that, and you know, he's an inspiration to me, and you know, just his attention to detail and like just his care for quality, you know, it inspires me to do something similar. So, you know, I do plan to work on what we're trying to do with him, you know, sooner than later. So we've done a t-shirt together, but you know, I want to get into pants, you know, I want to get into more clothing, you know, not just a t-shirt screen printing, you know what I mean? So I want to, yeah. So we're also, I'm doing a collab with Joe Freshgoods soon, with his new brand, Every Now and Then. Yeah, so he's really, you know, he's a big inspiration to me too, like just his care to detail. We're doing a chicken sandwich together, so we haven't figured out a name yet. Maybe Fresh Good Chicken, Joe's Chicken Sandwich, something like that. My buddy Sam from Half Evil, he, you know, that whole 333 thing, Half Evil, it's just a great idea, you know, like, and you know, he cares for the people, you know, like he makes clothes for the people. He's not taxing $50 a t-shirt, you know, and then he does this thing where he makes an exclusive t-shirt where it's $3.33. I was like, man, dude, like you the man for that, you know? So I love working with people that care about the product and care about the people. You know what I mean? So yeah, those three guys, they're real cool. So yeah, I got a bunch of other collabs coming up too, food-wise, but you know, they're pushing out some clothes that we're gonna work on together.
That's dope, man. That's really exciting, man, to see it all cross over and come together.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some cool projects coming up.
Well, it helps their fans of the food too, so.
Oh yeah, of course, because it's all
so
art.
They like the food, yeah.
It's all the art. Dope, man. So, who do you think that you would like to see on the episode of Let's Link TV?
I mean, you're doing a great job with Brandon. I met Brandon last year. Super down-to-earth guy, you know, like great artist. Like people need to see his art. You know, like he not too many people know about it mainstream-wise, but like it was really speak to whoever's looking at the piece. Now I went to his house with you, and then you know he chose these great fabrics to paint it on. You know, like yeah, great artist. Anybody, cause this Let's Link thing, it's not just fashion. You know, like it's everything, art, food. You know, like in my head, everything is an art.
Yes.
Anything is an art form. So yeah, like anybody would be a great guest for this show.
Bet.
Yeah.
That sounds good, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot, because I would like to expand our repertoire and always be open to just more experiences. And like you said, any artist of any medium would be amazing. It'd be cool, maybe Nico or somebody went.
Yeah, I'm sure Nico will be down. You know, great guy. You know, he really knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
That'd be dope, man. That'd be dope.
Oh, before I go, I got something for you.
Oh yeah?
This is one of my staff, just for the staff t-shirts, so.
Dope, man. Staff merch.
Yeah.
Dope.
It's soft, it's nice. It's the Untraditionally Authentic logo here.
Oh.
Playing around with it, yeah.
And we got, okay, bet.
Yeah, and let us cook. It's, you know, messing around.
That's dope, man.
And this is just like a parody kind of shirt, but.
Bet, man.
Yeah, just for my staff, yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Part of the staff, fam.
All right, man. Thanks for having me, dude.
Thanks, fam. Thanks for coming through. Bet. That was Let's Link TV, episode 3, featuring Henry from 3LP. On the next episode, we have a very special guest, so stay tuned.